Hello and a warm welcome to the Tamil Nadu Brief. I'm Sam Daniel. The headlines first. The centre announces caste enumeration. M K Stalin calls it a hard-earned victory for the India bloc. Asks when will it start and conclude. Tamil Nadu government announces a matching subsidy grant to draw more investments for electronics manufacturing. The number one state in electronic exports sets a $100 billion target for exports. TRB Rajaa speaks to NDTV. And on World Dancing Day, these two cousins perform underwater in the ocean. In a significant development, the Union government today announced caste enumeration as part of the upcoming census in 2026. This is being seen as the BJP strategy ahead of the upcoming elections in Bihar later this year. But the centre has not given a clear timeline in terms of when would this exercise start and when will it conclude. The ruling DMK calls it a victory for it and the India bloc. In 2024, the Dravidian party had adopted an assembly resolution urging the centre for caste census. Chief Minister M K Stalin, however, today questioned the lack of a clear timeline. The big question, who will get the credit? The BJP or the opposition that mounted pressure on the centre? Is this the Saffron Party's masterstroke, or is it a desperate act after failing to secure an absolute majority in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections? This is what DMK's spokesperson, Dr. Syed Hafizullah, had to say. With the union government announcing undertaking caste census along with the regular census next year, joining us now, DMK's spokesperson, Dr. Syed Hafizullah. Syed, thank you very much for your time. Your first take.
This has been a long-standing demand of the opposition parties, the Congress, the DMK and other parties which believe in positive social justice, that we needed some sort of a data for reservation or for other welfare measures which had to be targeted to the population which deserves. So this is something that we have been asking the union government to do. Now the BJP has understood that it is a genuine question or the genuine demand of the people that was put by opposition.
Who gets the credit for this?
Absolutely the opposition, because I gave you during 2023, somewhere in Chhattisgarh, the Prime Minister accused the opposition. Now he has gone back on his words. So it's ultimately the opposition which take the credit for making Modi ji take a U-turn, and he has given an approval or acknowledgement of the claim of the opposition, the DMK and the Congress, that yes, your claim was right, your call for caste reservation was to ensure social justice.
With the BJP in that sense speaking the opposition's language with regard to the caste census, is it a masterstroke? Who gets the credit now with Bihar elections next year or the end of this year?
Yeah. In democracy, ultimately you have to listen to the voice of the people. So now the BJP is forced to. Why I tell you this is just before the parliamentary elections, when the opposition parties brought this as an issue in the campaign that caste census should be done and there had to be representation of the communities depending upon the population. What did the Prime Minister say? He said such charges, such demands are to divide Hindu society. Now, why have you accepted? Are you being a part of dividing the Hindu society? If you have accepted, there are only two conclusions. Either you are being a part of some apparatus that is going to divide the Hindu society, or you are going back on your words. So, Prime Minister Modi has gone back on his words on charges against the opposition of dividing the Hindu society. Rather, he has accepted that the demand of caste reservation was for positive social justice and for uplifting the oppressed societies. So ultimately the opposition have won.
Some concerns that could actually lead to majoritarianism.
I don't see it that way. Already, Tamil Nadu is front runner when it comes to the caste-based reservation, because we are at 69% compared to the other states. So I don't think Tamil Nadu will have such a problem, because majority of the people are for positive social justice.
No, if you go by the population basis.
No, again, by the population basis, more or less the existing reservation as far as the Tamil Nadu is concerned is syncing with the population. The population and representation, I don't think there is a drastic difference.
Thank you so much, Saeed, for your time. That was Dr. Syed Hafizullah, DMK spokesperson, talking to us, saying that it's a victory for the opposition as the centre announces caste census. The Tamil Nadu government today announced a matching subsidy grant at par with what the centre offers. This to increase investments in electronics manufacturing in Tamil Nadu, which already leads in electronic exports, crossing $15.6 billion. I spoke to the state's Industries Minister TRB Rajaa on the state's strategy, targets and politics when it comes to allotting or directing investments to states. In a first of its kind, the Tamil Nadu government has announced a matching grant to draw investments in the electronics manufacturing sector at a time the state leads with $14.5 billion exports in electronic goods. Joining us now, Tamil Nadu's Industries Minister, Mr. TRB Rajaa. Thank you very much for your time. How important is this? What's the target you have set in terms of investments now?
As India, we also recognize the need to get into the entire electronic explosion that's happening, the manufacturing explosion that's happening. And India knows that 41.23% of its manufacturing is right here in Tamil Nadu. So the union has also come up with a good policy, and we are trying to match that, take things further, and enable more of these companies to come into what is the electronics capital of India. Looking at about 30,000 crores worth of investments coming into Tamil Nadu in the near future, and 60,000 jobs, high-end jobs also being created in this via this scheme.
Strategically, what would this lead to in terms of manufacturing? What are the niche
components that are very, very key for the existing manufacturing that's already here, and for future manufacturing which is coming. So we've learned from them.
examples?
Like as I said, let's talk about flexi PCBs, right? Now HDIs, which are high density interference PCBs, and now these are all PCBs which have like thousands of networks within very high power and stuff. And then you have the flexi PCBs, which are used for wearables, like your rings and wearable rings and stuff. Some of the high-end phones have this too. So these are things which are yet to come into India, but Tamil Nadu is already looking at it, right? So we're rolling out this scheme to look at components which will help the existing manufacturer, and also make sure that future manufacturing will come to Tamil Nadu, because we already have this in place. So
The matching grant is deliverable, viable?
of course, this is the only state which has never failed on its incentive. That's why when any other state gives a number and Tamil Nadu gives a number, every investor knows that this number will come. This incentive will come through. Cutting across regimes, Tamil Nadu has consistently paid its incentives, never ever failed on its incentives, and that trust factor which the investor has in Tamil Nadu has helped Tamil Nadu in a big way.
Lastly, does it indicate the intense competition among states to attract investments?
We've never thought of other states, Sam. We've always thought of other countries. I've been repeating the statement. Tamil Nadu does not consider other states as its competition. We look at other countries as our competition. And that is why we're looking through into the future, and we're taking decisions which we need to take now to excel 5 years, 10 years.
Last question. What would be a new target now in terms of exports, and what would this mean in terms of opportunities for the youngsters in the state?
I would love to see $100 billion coming up, and I see that coming very, very close. I think very rapidly approaching Tamil Nadu. Even though at times the union doesn't look at us the same way.
Competition between BJP ruled states, non-BJP ruled states?
As I said, there's no competition at all with any state.
Favored?
Why does it have to? See, anybody who's in regime. See, if I come from Manargudi, right? I come from Manargudi. I want to take things to Manargudi, right? So I don't blame them for doing what they do. But I think they need to be a little bit more look at the possibilities of each state, the strengths of each state, and the kind of mature ecosystem that's available in each state, and help them get that. That is all we are asking for.
What kind of jobs?
High-end jobs. I'm looking at high-end jobs and jobs for youngsters, nimble hands, more women. We've always been working on our female workforce, and you do know we are the number one in that too. So we're building on that.
And finally, yesterday was International Dance Day, and these two children, cousins, performed underwater in the ocean near Rameswaram. One, to raise awareness to draw children to take up dance art form and to integrate this as part of the academic curriculum. Secondly, to raise awareness on plastic pollution in the sea and to conserve marine life. There was no music in the water, and these two children had to be so meticulous and precise to dance, having the rhythm in their mind. There was also beautiful, exotic marine life that was captured by cameras underwater. This is what Tharagai Aradhana, one of the dancers, had to say.
So, இன்னைக்கு வந்து டான்ஸ் டே. ஸோ அதனால் வந்து நாங்கள் வந்து அண்டர் வாட்டரில் டான்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். ஸோ பிளாஸ்டிக் அவேர்னஸ்க்காக நாங்கள் அண்டர் வாட்டரில் டான்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். இந்த மாதிரி காஸ்டியூம்ஸ்லாம், பரதநாட்டியம் காஸ்டியூம்ஸ்லாம் போட்டு நான் வந்து பரதநாட்டியம் கிளாஸும் வந்து போயிட்டுருக்கேன். ஸோ டான்ஸ் முடிச்சுட்டு வரும்போது இங்கே நிறைய இந்த மாதிரி கோஸ் நெட் வந்து மாட்டிகிட்டு இருந்தது கோரல்ஸில். ஸோ கோஸ் நெட்ஸ்னால் பேய் வலைன்னு வந்து சொல்லுவோம். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி கோஸ் நெட் அண்ட் பிளாஸ்டிக்னால தான் நிறைய மெரைன் லைஃப் அண்ட் கோரல்ஸ் வந்து டேமேஜ் ஆகுது.
That was a brilliant performance. These two cousins performing underwater in the ocean. Well, that's a wrap on this edition of the Tamil Nadu Brief. Hope you liked it. See you tomorrow, same time. Goodbye.